Remember yesterday when the Leafs had a really terrible performance and I made a video on it? Guess what? More content is available for me. The Leafs were playing, and I'm not exaggerating, literally the worst offense in the NHL. The Anaheim Ducks, who were in the middle of a 7-game losing streak. They're up 3-1 with 12 minutes left in the third. The refs are being actively paid off by an Austin Matthews brand deal, and what do you think happened? Let's go right to that point, and the announcers were literally talking about how with a 2-goal lead, 12 minutes left in the third, the Leafs aren't often at this point when they give up a horrible goal to Anaheim. The star of yesterday's video was Austin Matthews. The star of today's video is Mitch Marner. He makes an absolutely horrendous play in the offensive zone. He gets the puck, and instead of either dumping it in, making a quick pass, or at least heading in the right direction, he turns towards the blue line, trying to make some sort of hero play, is stripped, and Zegras scores a beautiful goal. I accidentally recorded my reaction to this as I was watching the game and forgot to turn my mic off, and I'll just play it. It's short.
That down to Marner.
But you know what? Marner also had a terrible play on the first Anaheim goal. This one wasn't quite as egregious, but Marner makes a totally careless play in his own end, coughs the puck up, and it leads to a goal. Anyway, after the second goal, TSN, who was broadcasting the game, pulled no punches. Anytime something bad happened, the camera was right on Marner. Marner was actually temporarily benched by Sheldon Keefe, but something kind of unbelievable happened. I'm not trying to rag on the kid at all, but this isn't something you usually see. Marner left the bench, went down the hallway with the stick, smashed it, then came back to the bench. Let's be honest, you see people smash sticks all the time. Yesterday we saw JT shoot a shot at the boards when he was frustrated, but you don't normally see this. Obviously Marner is going through it right now. And I'm not going to lie, I do feel for him. Anyway, after that second goal, even though the third was halfway up, there was just no chance Anaheim wasn't going to tie it. You could just tell. They were bringing the pressure every play, getting really good opportunities, and they ended up scoring, of course, on what was admittedly just a really bad play by Källgren. He just does not play the wraparound properly. He doesn't push off, and he leaves the post open. From that point on, the Leafs were just defeated, and Anaheim actually scored a fourth goal, but it was called back. And usually I'm not too critical of goalie interference plays, but this one was absolute garbage. The TSN panel afterwards said it. The commentators during the game were saying it. This was essentially a penalty on Adam Henrique for just being too strong. Neither the defender or the goalie did anything to hold the crease, and the contact just wasn't that significant anyway. Just a pathetic no goal. This one was super disappointing as someone who's generally agreed with most of the NHL rulings this year. That wasn't, however, the only bad call we got all game. The TSN panel pointed this out afterwards, but compare these two sequences. Somehow only the one against the Toronto player was a penalty shot. It wasn't converted, but still just really not great. Let's talk about OT. Now, I like the Leafs, but they're not my main team. Still, there was one point where Matthews was on the ice and he would just not get off. He was gassed, he gave the puck away, it almost led to a goal. He had the opportunity to make a line change, he didn't. I was wondering what he was doing, but he made a beautiful pass to guess who? Mitch Marner right in front of the net. However, he was absolutely robbed by Gibson in the save of the game, and just minutes later, NHL 23's cover athlete scored the winning goal. I will say, the Leafs had a beautiful shorthanded goal, but another real low light came when Kerfoot essentially missed an open net because he didn't have his stick on the ice. He was celebrating what he thought was a goal. It wasn't. The puck trickled by, and he didn't have a stick on it. I can hear Don yelling from Mississauga or wherever he's living now. Anyway, this was an absolutely brutal road trip for the Leafs. They had 7 games against non-playoff teams. They only managed to get 2 wins, and they've now lost 4 straight in a row. Next game, it's the Flyers. Is it a must win? I mean, I don't know. I don't want to say the sky is falling yet. Some people criticized me about that on my past video. The Leafs had a very poor start last year as well, but this is just embarrassing. It looks like no one cares. I don't know though, guys. What's the answer? Do the Leafs need a coaching change up? Do they need to make a big trade? Is this just an unfortunate road trip? Let me know your thoughts and more down below. Also, last time LA fans got on me for not giving their team credit, I've got to give Anaheim and especially Gibby and Zegras credit. Great game. My buddy Isaac, who loves the Ducks, will be happy to see this one.